If you're a freelancer, a creator, or anyone who gets paid in weird, unpredictable chunks, stop. Every finance guru tells you to download a budget app. But those apps were built for people with paychecks that arrive like a Swiss train, on time every time. Not for us. The moment you enter a $5,000 project payment, the app thinks you're royalty. It's all green charts and confetti. But then 3 weeks of nothing go by and the app has a full-blown panic attack, sending you notifications that basically ask, "So, are we poor now?" It's not your fault, it's the tool. It's like trying to measure rainfall with a stopwatch. You're getting data, sure, but it's completely useless. Today, I'm showing you the dead simple system I use instead. It actually handles the chaos and it doesn't involve a single pie chart. Chapter 1, The Great Lie of the Average Month. Every budgeting app wants you to plug in your average monthly income. For a freelancer, that number is a statistical ghost. It doesn't exist. It's a myth, like a client who pays on time without 3 follow-up emails. Let's look at Chloe, a freelance writer. In March, she landed a huge project and made $8,000. In April, she made $2,000. In May, crickets, then a last-minute gig for $1,500. Her average is about $3,800, but she has never, not once, actually made that amount in a single month. Budgeting with your average is like setting your thermostat to the average annual temperature. You'll be freezing in the winter and sweating in the summer, but hey, on average, you're comfortable. It's nonsense. And it's why you feel like you're failing at budgeting. You're playing a game with rules that weren't written for you. Chapter 2, Find Your Financial Floor. Instead of looking at the average, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to look at the absolute worst-case scenario. This is your baseline budget. Look back at your last 6 or even 12 months of income. Find the lowest amount you earned in a single month. Not your worst ever, but the lowest you can consistently expect. For Chloe, after that glorious $8,000 month, she had a few lower ones. Her absolute floor was that $1,500 month. So that's her number. That is the only asterisk income she is allowed to budget with. Everything else is a bonus. Serious, this feels scary at first. It feels like admitting defeat, but it's the single most powerful shift you can make. You are building your entire financial house on solid rock, not on the shifting sands of maybe I'll land a big client next month. Your baseline budget covers only the absolute essentials: rent, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, the non-negotiables. Chapter 3, The Two-Account System. Okay, this is where we actually manage the money. You need 2 bank accounts, not 20, not 1. 2. We'll call them the income VAT and the paycheck account. This is how you're going to pay yourself a steady salary, even when your clients are anything but steady. Here's how it works. Every single dollar you earn from that massive 5-figure project to that $50 gig you forgot about goes directly into the income VAT. You don't touch this money. You don't spend from it. It's just a holding tank, a chaotic, lumpy, beautiful pile of potential. Then on the 1st and 15th of every month, you do something revolutionary. You pay yourself. You transfer exactly half of your baseline budget number from the income VAT into your paycheck account. For Chloe, that's $750 twice a month. This paycheck account is what you live on. You connect your debit card to it, you pay your bills from it. It's your predictable, boring, wonderful salary. Suddenly, your personal finances look like a 9-to-5 employee's. You have a predictable income stream, even though the backend is pure chaos. This breaks the feast or famine cycle mentally. You no longer feel rich when a big check lands or poor when it's a slow week. You just feel stable, which, for a freelancer, is a truly exotic feeling. Chapter 4, The Surplus Protocol. Okay, so what happens when you have a great month? Chloe lands that $8,000 project. That money goes straight into the income VAT. She still only pays herself her normal $1,500 salary for the month. At the end of the month, she has a huge pile of cash left over in the VAT. This is the surplus. Now we give it jobs. Whispers, this is the part the apps get wrong. They see extra cash as money to spend. We see it as ammunition. The first job for any surplus is taxes. You must skim this off the top. A good rule of thumb is 30%. So Chloe immediately moves $2,400 of her surplus into a separate high-yield savings account labeled IRS, Do Not Touch. With the remaining surplus, you follow a percentage plan. This can be whatever you want, but a solid start is 50% to a buffer fund, we'll get to that in a second, 30% to high-interest debt, and 20% to long-term investments or a fun goal, like finally take a vacation fund. The key is that every dollar gets a destination. It doesn't just sit there tempting you to buy a new laptop you don't need. Chapter 5, The Client Ghosted Me Fund. You've heard of an emergency fund, right? For when your car explodes, that's great, you still need one. But freelancers need a second, more important fund, the buffer fund. An emergency fund is for unexpected expenses. A buffer fund is for an expected emergency, a slow month. Your goal is to get at least 1 to 3 months of your baseline salary saved in your income VAT at all times. So for Chloe, that's a goal of having $4,500 sitting there before any new income arrives. This is her buffer. If she has a month where she makes $0, guess what? Nothing changes. She still pays herself her $1,500 salary right out of the buffer. Excited, this is the end game. This is financial peace. It's the moment you realize you've detached your monthly lifestyle from your monthly hustle. You've built a dam that turns a chaotic, raging river of income into a calm, predictable reservoir that generates steady power for your life. You're no longer at the mercy of a client's weird payment schedule. So let's recap the system. 1. Find your floor. Calculate your baseline monthly income from your worst months. 2. Use 2 bank accounts. An income VAT for all earnings and a paycheck account for all spending. 3. Pay yourself a steady salary based on your baseline. And 4. Use any surplus from big months to fund your taxes, your buffer, and your future goals. That's it. This system isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. It's about creating predictability in an unpredictable career. By 2027, almost half the workforce in the US will be freelancing. That's millions of people who need a better way to think about money than some app designed for a corporate drone. You're not a drone. Your finances shouldn't be treated like you are. The single most important thing you can do today is calculate that baseline number. Just figure it out. That's your first step toward taking back control. If this made sense to you and you want more financial advice for people who'd rather be creating than crunching numbers, you know what to do. Thanks for watching.